Hey you guys, in this video I am going to be tapping and scratching on this wooden instrument called a Balafon. It's a type of xylophone, and the gourds underneath it, which I will show you soon, are what help to resonate this beautiful sound. This is an instrument that I have borrowed from a friend, a family friend. Some of you might remember that pretty recently one of my sweet subscribers did a custom video. Maydell is the one who did the custom video, and asked for this specific instrument because she had seen it in a previous walkthrough of a family member's kind of like tiny house, like a man cave tiny house thing that he built in his backyard, and I did a tour for you guys, and he has lots of really cool items from Africa, including some instruments like this one. And she was like, okay, I want a whole video of that for my custom video. So I did a no talking and talking version quite recently. But when I saw your comments, I realised, like, some of you were like, okay, this is my new favourite trigger. And I felt really bad, actually, because I was like, oh no, I have to give this back soon. And there's really no place I can get another one at the moment. So before giving it back, I wanted to make you another video with it. I actually filmed this video last night with my headset, so it was not a voiceover, and sadly when I went to edit it this morning I realised that my mic was making some weird sounds. It was like touching the collar of my shirt, and so I could not use it. It would have been too disruptive. And I was going to go ahead and film again today, but my friend's little twin nuggets are not napping, so I needed to do it this way, which is fine. So what you're looking at here are the gourds that are attached to the bottom of this xylophone. They are carved out and hollowed. You can hear they make such a great sound when you're tapping on them because of the fact that they're dried out and hollow. I like that sound, so I pulled it back to the top portion. These pieces of wood are all shaped very similarly. They kind of have a bend, almost an arch to them. And I've noticed that on one side of each wood piece there are little carvings, 3 little almost triangles right next to each other in the middle. So I can't figure out if it's decorative or if it's for sound purposes. If there's a shot where we can see it, I will highlight that for you. So these wood portions are not, what's the word, like sanded down at all. They're kind of rough, just like the actual largest piece of wood is there, whereas the wood pieces below it that are holding the xylophone up are actually like smooth, sanded. I did notice that the gourds underneath, the sizes of them do correlate to the sizes of the pieces of wood panels. So where the wood panels are shorter, smaller up here, and they kind of, as I move back like this, you see the panels are larger, longer, thicker. The gourds correspond, so they're smaller, the smaller portions of wood, and larger at the wood panels that are larger. Not by much, but when I flip this around to the gourds again, you'll see the middle ones are all kind of similar, but then on the end there's some that are larger, on the other end they're quite small. So you can kind of see here the different sizes. They make a nice scratching sound on the bottom. So these are the larger ones, and then down here you can see a bit small ones. I know I mentioned this in the previous video, but I'm just like amazed at the way the instruments are made. And I feel like when you see them in this kind of like raw state, it's even more amazing. That like people thought of this idea and, you know, like tuned it using gourds. Like, you're not getting used to use factory pieces that are all perfectly made, and that's hard enough to get the right pitch, tone, etc. for each of the, you know, panels. But imagine having to use gourds and find the right size to then make the right sound. And usually people will use kind of a soft mallet to play these, like when you're actually playing it as an instrument. I don't know how this particular xylophone is played, but I do know that most xylophones are played with that kind of soft mallet. And I actually looked into xylophones just a bit to find out a bit about them, and yeah, sometimes you use harder mallets and sometimes softer for different sounds. I think that musicians are very mathematically talented, actually. There's a lot of math going on in a lot of ways when you're putting a piece of music together, or even simply playing the music. I was always told as a dancer that there was a link between kind of dancing and like numbers, maybe being quite good with numbers sometimes. I'm sure that's not always the case, but it does make sense to me because you're counting and you are constantly putting beats and numbers together and thinking in patterns. Sounds so nice. Someone in the previous video said it sounded a bit like rain. I can see what you mean, especially when kind of like slowly tap in one spot for a while. I'm kind of glad that I got to try different nails this time around on the Balafon. Because they do make a slightly different sound. These are a bit shorter and they're kind of like pointy. In the other video they were like more squared nails and longer. I do feel sort of sad that you guys didn't get to hear the video I filmed last night, because it was like, I don't know, I found it very relaxing. My eyes were like literally closing while filming because the sound is just really nice, and it's late and it's like a lullaby sound and my eyes were closing. So I'm sad you didn't get to hear it, but this one of course is equally as beautiful sounds that it makes. That does happen sometimes, filming ASMR videos. After you've filmed, you go and listen to the audio, and like something might be awry. There were times, a few times when I hadn't like plugged audio in. It's funny things like that. So it's not funny at the time, admittedly, but you're like, oh no, I have to do it again. So sometimes you hear people start off videos saying like, "Hi, this is the third time I'm recording this." I feel so bad because I understand. Ooh, I love that sound. I'm so curious if anybody gets tingles from this sound. I've gotten them a few times. I'm curious if others. I think I did see in the comments of some of the other videos that were put up that some of you did. I find it fascinating because it's an instrument, but just even tapping on it can give those tingles sometimes. I'm still working on the bloopers reel. And I'm like grabbing all of the saved videos that I have where something went awry. I'm starting to edit down those videos into smaller portions where I just have the like funny bit or the whatever's happening, and it's pretty fun. Like, it's just flat out fun to edit that. It's hilarious to me, the things that happen while filming. I'm going to put that out at hopefully we get to 90,000 subscribers, and that will be the like, I try to do something to thank you guys at like milestones like that. So here are the gourds once again. And there you can see really well now the shape, I mean the size decreasing there towards the right. Are any of you musicians? If so, like, what do you guys play? Or do you play for fun? Like, not just necessarily doing it for a living, but what about a hobby? What capacity do you do it in? The two instruments that I've ever played, like, where I could actually play with other people, like I had some sort of ability, were guitar and a drum called the djembe. I played guitar quite often for about 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, and I stopped. Actually, it's so sad because of the injury I have in my hand. It's like it hurt to play, but I had gotten like decent, and then I think I played djembe for like shorter time, maybe a year and a half. I really like both instruments. So yeah, this portion of wood here, I'm kind of going to a gourd, but the one my other hand is holding, it's actually very smooth. It's more like a branch. There's 2 longer pieces, and then the shorter pieces that are tied as the bottom of the xylophone are similar wood to the wood used as the panels on the top. Okay, you guys, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the sounds that this wonderful instrument makes. Okay, so the only good news about me having to refilm is that I had forgotten to give you an emoji to put in the comment section at the end of the last video. So now we get to do that. I've been trying to do that recently because it's like ridiculous how much fun it is to me to go and look in the comments and see that you guys have watched to the end and put the emoji that I mentioned. So this time, let us do a little penguin emoji. If you don't have the emojis, go ahead and write penguin, and that way I'll know you got to the end of the video. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. Thank you again so much for watching and being a part of this channel. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.